Alright, so we're back. I apologize. I forgot to give these gentlemen the life tracker. But like I said, 24 runners tonight, so that's 4 rounds of standard, followed by a cut to top 8. So we should be done a little bit earlier tonight than in weeks past. Let's talk a little bit now about the matchup. This is the first time in the 5 months that I've been doing this FNM stream that I have already pre-selected the first 2 rounds of coverage. So in this particular matchup, on the left is Alec Myers. He's played on stream multiple times. A consistent top 8 player, normally piloting Rakdos Aggro, and in the last few weeks an American Flash deck. Tonight he's playing, I asked him what he was playing, and he flashed me Trostani. So it looks like it's a Selesnya of some sort. So we'll see if it's a green-white aggro deck or green-white mid-range. We'll figure it out one way or the other. But more importantly, on the right is the man that I've picked this feature match for. That is one Mr. Forgive me as I'm by myself again this week, so I'm doing all the behind-the-scenes stuff while I'm trying to talk to you. That is Zach Viglianco, in from law school. This might be his last FNM before he goes back from the break. And he is playing his patented Primal Surge Door to Nothingness combo deck. And one way or the other, it should be fun. Zach's deck, Zach always plays a deck like this. It's always some kind of fun fringe combo deck that's not necessarily a tier 1, but it's, as Zach puts it, solidly tier 1.5. But basically, he's always got something like that lined up for us. But he has pretty bad luck when it comes to actually getting his deck to combo on camera. So hopefully we'll see it tonight. Basically how his deck works, he has only one non-permanent in the entire deck, and that is the aforementioned copy of Primal Surge. He will simply cast Primal Surge through a variety of ramp methods, mostly which include Axebane Guardian and a lot of different defenders like Fogbank and Gatecreeper Vine, as well as Gilded Lotus. And then basically he'll Primal Surge his entire deck, at which point he will untap a Door to Nothingness with a Zealous Conscripts, and then use his relatively infinite mana to combo off. So I'll go ahead and let these guys know they can start, or looks like they may not be waiting on me. But when his deck works, it is very fun to watch. It can just hard cast some threats. It has a couple copies of Niv Mizzet. He has Gristlebrand. He has, he can hard cast and activate the door naturally. It struggles against the really aggressive decks like Rakdos, but against the mid-rangey decks, and definitely against decks that don't have counter spells, it does a lot of business. So should be fun to watch. I have play-tested with the deck multiple times to great effect, and if nothing else, it's a whole lot of fun to play. So first 2 rounds tonight, we will be playing some fun decks. Primal Surge in round 1, and then in round 2, for those of you who follow us on Facebook, we've ran a promotion last week that let the stream viewers decide what deck Max Turner is going to play at tonight's FNM. The people spoke. The answer was Burn at the Stake combo pretty definitively. So in round 2, we'll see Max play a Is It Burn at the Stake combo deck. So 2 fun decks right out of the bat, and then we'll get to more of the typical tier 1 decks later on. So it looks like the guys have shuffled up, and we should be pretty close to the start of the game. As I enjoy a nice long pull off of Wendy's root beer. So we see the great turn 2 Gatecreeper Vine from Zach. Lets him go and basically acts as a Sylvan Ranger. Lets him go get a Guild Gate is what he showed. I think it was a blue-white one. And for those of you who've watched our stream in the past, you'll know that Alec Myers plays lightning quick. Ironically, Zach Viglianco is basically the opposite of that. He's very deliberate. So this should be a very interesting matchup, not just in terms of the decks, but in terms of the playstyles of the 2 individuals. So I think Max Turner's Burn at the Stake deck is pretty pretty aggressive. It either wins quickly or loses quickly, so he'll probably be in here when he's done to co-commentate, and I think I can snag Michael Turner at some point, who's here playing some EDH, I think. But for right now, it's just me, so if this is your first time watching, we appreciate that. And for those of you who watch consistently, it's good to be back, and hopefully we can have some good Magic action for you tonight. Turn 3, Lingering Souls from Alec. I'm going to start putting on the clock, and of course this is a great matchup for Zach because Alec's not going to have a lot of removal and is basically going to let, and his clock is pretty slow, so it's going to let Zach set up this board and combo off at basically his own pace. So now you see the power of Axebane Guardian. Zach has access to 6 mana on his turn 4. He's also playing Fog Banks, which both help with his Axebane Guardian, as well as obviously very difficult to remove in combat. So we see Zach just ramping with no relent. Oh, I forgot. I can't believe I forgot this. So the card that Zach just played is probably the only time you're going to see a checklist card on a Magic stream, and have the person go to their deck box and come back with Ludovic's Test Subject. For those of you who are unfamiliar with that card, it is a I forget what it is. It's a 0-something defender that you can pay 1 and a blue for, and can after you put 5 or 6 counters on it, it turns into a 13/13. Basically, it's a mana sink for Zach, and it does add to his defender creature count, which helps his Axebane Guardian. Vraska obviously coming down and nuking the Axebane Guardian. It's going to set Zach back slightly here. Zach trying to figure out what he's doing. He's playing Zealous Conscripts, so I think he might be thinking about stealing the Vraska and killing it. That is not what he's doing. So I think the life totals are correct now. Another Lingering Souls coming in. Trying to bring up Ludovic's Test Subject here, but the wheels are falling off. I will have to admit, I'm very tired. I just basically yesterday got over what was the most poorly timed illness of, I think, my life. Basically, I had to cancel all of my Christmas travel plans and whatnot. So I don't have the gusto I normally would have, so I apologize for that. And like I said, I am by myself yet again this week, so I apologize for that. Oh, and my screen region is slightly off too, so. So you see the flip Ludovic's Test Subject, which is now it's switched into a 13/13, and I believe it has Trample as well. And I think Alec forgot to use his Vraska last turn, so that's obviously a huge detriment. So he's lining up an attack. He was attacking Vraska with Ludovic's Test Subject and sending the Centaur Healer at Alec. I think I might have just attacked at Vraska with both of them, but Selesnya Charm takes out the Test Subject. And now and Zach replaces his Axebane Guardian. So there's Big Garrick. Come down and make a 3/3 beast. Don't know why my screen region thing is off. My card viewer is slightly off kilter. It's very frustrating. Don't know why that is. So turn back to Zach now. See what he can stymie here. Now, he's got a lot of cards in his deck that will just win him the game at any point, but obviously you have to draw them. So it looks like a conscripts here. So what's he going to steal? He's going to steal Vraska, going to -3 Vraska and kill the Garrick, I imagine. Yep, there's the power of the Zealous Conscripts. So Zach is playing off the top now, but he's got a lot of time here to draw any of his kill cards. Door to Nothingness, Gristlebrand, Niv Mizzet. Another Ludovic's test subject would be fine at this point. And then, of course, the titular Primal Surge, which will just end this game on the spot. So there's another Gate Creeper Vine. Of course, all these Defender creatures not ideal against Lingering Soul Beatdown. But yeah, Zach's still drawing live here. Blood Artist makes things a little bit different. Trostani really doesn't affect the doesn't really affect anything because Zach doesn't kill usually with exact damage by any means. He usually wins with alternate win condition or by doing 1,000,000 damage. And I realize now that Alec's deck is not Selesnya by any means. It is a junk tokens list. He's deciding he's going to take 3 in the air. And he's going to, in response, Alec is going to populate, targeting the beast. So he goes back up to 20. Zach drops down to 10. Zach is on a clock here. It drops down to 8, I guess, because of the 2 creatures dying. So Zach is on a 2-turn clock. So if he draws Door here, he can play Door and activate it and still win. Gristlebrand is probably not an out at this point. Niv Mizzet actually is still pretty good here because you can ding the Blood Artist and then you can machine gun all of the Lingering Souls tokens. Cannot see what he drew though. Has to be business. And there's the door. So Alec better have an answer to it. Better have an answer. Or he is dead next turn. So the door has made an appearance. Alec's end of turn's Midnight Haunting. Picks up 2 more spirits. So he's got 6 flyers through the air. There's Vault of the Archangel. Will not help him in this situation. He needs to either get rid of that door or kill Zach. I think he can do it if he just attacks with everything. Well, no, he can't. If Zach just blocks the beast token with the creature that will die to the beast, but the beast does not, if the beast lives, then he should be fine. 6 in the air. Oh, I forgot about Trostani. So that is exact. So I think Zach is looking for an out here, and I'm not sure he has one because he's taking 6 in the air. Yep, so Alec is explaining that the even if Zach can find a block where his creatures won't die, the Death Touch from the Vault of the Archangel would actually kill whatever blockers they were. So I was incorrect, thinking that it was irrelevant, but ultimately it wasn't. I don't think it was relevant for any reason because Alec had him dead on board anyway. Had forgotten about the Trostani. So the extra 2 attackers mean Zach had to block with 2 extra creatures, which would trigger the Bloodguards 2 times. And that's enough for exact damage. So, as I enjoy yet another pull off this delicious root beer, we go to the sideboards. Alec Myers up a game with his junk tokens list against Zach's Primal Surge combo deck. 1 turn too slow for Zach. If you just drawn the door 1 turn earlier, it would have been good. So you can see the power of Zach's deck. It is kind of niche, and it is a little bit different. And it's not. It struggles with aggro, and in this case is very weak to flyers, it appears. But I think Zach has Curse of Death's Hold in the sideboard, so he should be able to bring those in and ramp into those pretty quickly and possibly slow Alec right down. So let's take this opportunity, as we do every week after the end of the first game, to thank the fine folks here at Lost Legion Games and Comics in South Charleston, West Virginia. Lost Legion has 4 locations in the greater West Virginia area: Beckley, Princeton, South Charleston, and the new store in Parkersburg. So if you're within a couple hours drive, like Pittsburgh, Columbus, Cincinnati, Roanoke, Blacksburg, Lexington, all of these cities are a fair day trip to come to one of these stores. So go to their website at lostlegiongames.com for more information and a calendar of events. So if we have any Grand Prix trials or things of that notion, feel free to stop by. We'd love to have you. Good people here, good prices, good service. So if you're ever in the area, make sure to look us up. We stream Friday Night Magic every week, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Here in the U.S., twitch.tv/ZachSellsMagic is the location. So if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to check us out live some week. As I say every week, if you can't make your FNM, come watch ours. So like I said earlier, just 24 people here tonight, down a considerable amount. That's about half of what we've been getting the month prior to the Christmas season. But with Christmas coming on a Tuesday this year, it kind of negates 2 weekends. You know, the weekend before, usually traveling in or traveling to your Christmas destination of choice, and with New Year's on Tuesday, and people probably still spending time with friends and family. Not too surprising to see this kind of turnout. But as I said in weeks past, if 24 people is the new baseline of turnouts for FNM, then I'm perfectly fine with that, because 24 people is still a considerable number. Good to see. So take a quick scroll to the Twitch chat here. Up to 41 viewers. So should be good numbers. Last week we ended up with, or not last week. Last week was the first week we missed. We got a lot of, I wouldn't say grief, but there are a lot of our regulars who are a little bit upset we didn't have a stream last week. But as I did point it out, that we'd done 18 weeks in a row prior to the week that I missed, and then this would be our 19th week total over 5 months. So if you had told me 5 months ago that this thing would still be going strong 5 months in, and that we would have topped off at 180 people a couple weeks ago and had 48 people in the doors here at Lost Legion for FNM, I would have called you a dirty liar. So it's a fun little project. It's good to see some minor results, way exceeding my expectations. So again, whoa, didn't mean to do that. Apologize. Had no idea that it would be this interesting to people. So I'm very appreciative of all the support. We'll talk about if this is the first time you're watching and you're enjoying yourself, we'll talk a little bit later after the round how you can help support the stream and other content we might have, various forms of social media. Looks like Alex is resolving his mulligan down to 6, as I am now joined by Max Turner. Max, how you doing, bud?
I lost.
You lost?
2-1.
But you got one, right?
I went off turn 4 and 1.
That was the one you won?
Yeah.
Did his sideboard crush you, or just...
No, I just fizzled.
Okay, so for those of you just joining us, so Max Turner has just joined us for commentary here. We started a new promotion a couple weeks ago. We wanted to do it last week, but due to some scheduling conflicts, had to wait till this week. But basically, on our Facebook page, which we'll talk about here shortly, facebook.com/ZachSellsMagic, we've got about I'm like 10 people short of 300 likes on there, and a pretty active little page there.
Yeah,
I spent a lot of time putting like content up there. Of course, this week has been spoiler week. We'll talk about the spoilers later. I've got that for the new Gate Crash cards. But we basically said we're going to let you. Max kindly volunteered and said I will let the stream pick what deck I play next week.
Yes, sir.
So we had a little bit of our first post, we let people suggest decks.
Mm-hmm.
We got about 25 different archetypes. So I picked the most popular ones. Had a little poll. We had
how many total votes were there?
about 50.
Not bad, though.
Over 800 people saw that poll, though. So that's kind of amazing to me. But Burn at the Stake won handily.
Yeah, so I went in close.
Mono black control.
It was an Exalted.
There was a Primal Surge. Well, it was. I put it as Exalted, but the guy who recommended it was actually just mono black controlled. I messed up. But we'll talk about his deck a little bit later. It is going to be on camera next round, regardless. He did lose in the first round to Brett Rose, Esper Token's deck. But to be fair, Brett, pretty accomplished player.
Anthems put a lot of pressure.
Yeah, Brett's deck is.
He forced me to go off Will.
Yes, he can race you. So let's see what's going on here. Back to the game. So we've got, Max, for your benefit, we got Alec on the left playing Junk Tokens. He's up a game against Zach's Primal Surge deck. Zach had the door on the table and the mana to activate it and lost to exact damage the turn prior. So he couldn't, he ran out of business pretty early and drew the door late. But Alec has ramped into a turn 3 Garrick and killed a Ludovic's test subject.
Poor test subject.
We're the only, he flipped them in game 1.
Oh.
And Vraska came down and kind of messed with him. But in game 1, he did also...
That's a good question in the chat.
Yeah, the ironic thing here about Garrick in this point is that Garrick is brutal against all the defender creatures because...
But he never flips.
Yes. Well, but he also kills every...
Yeah. He doesn't kill Doorkeeper, does he?
A Gate Creature Vine?
It's a 4 or 3.
Oh, the Doorkeeper? I'm not sure. What was the question in the chat?
There's a question. Ask if there will be another poll for me to play a different deck next week.
Do you want to do it every week? Or, well, we should probably do it every 2 weeks, I think, would give you enough time to source cards, and get...
Because we can go ahead and we can make a poll, and then a week from... I'll play it.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good point. We'll try to make it every 2 weeks that you actually play the deck, but the polling will start next week or after the weekend or whatever. So let's talk about this game here. I don't think this game is going to be anywhere close to as close because this turn 3 Garrick.
He's very far behind.
Turn 3 Garrick is pretty brutal, and the streak of Zach's deck never comboing on camera continues. Poor guy. And there's a room of casual decks out there. There's a lot of homebrew players out there, and of course Zach draws in round 1 the perennial top 4 Alec Myers. So another test subject, just going to get murdered, right?
Yeah, but I guess he's not making wolves at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a baby, like healing salve.
You can look at it that way. It's this is brutal. I just want him to cast Primal Surge and win the game. I mean, how hard is it?
Don't we all? We'll make for good entertainment. This kind of TV is just sad.
Well, I think he sideboards into Curse of Death's Hold, which would be pretty good here.
Everybody's just kind of in a sad state because they want to watch Zach just go nuts. But.
And he has O-rings in the sideboard, so the Vine will at least go get him a land. And to be fair, like Alec's clock isn't like the fastest clock in the world.
Right. Because he's not making more wolves, he has to kill stuff every turn.
Yeah, I just drew a Tangible Virtue, so now
helps.
And a Sorin as well.
Ooh.
Sorin and Virtue, yeah.
That's pretty similar to what I played at the Star City, isn't it?
Yeah, you did win the Star City IQ with that. So
I've never actually seen his junk tokens.
Yeah, he switches back and forth. He's got like a Rakdos deck. He's got this junk deck, and he's been playing American Flash the last 2 weeks, like a Pike deck.
We need to make sure that the next week that I play a stream deck doesn't fall on the modern FNM in Huntington.
Oh, that's on like the 24th or something.
Okay.
Are y'all going to that?
Well, I didn't realize that today was the two-headed giant one.
Mm-hmm.
Because a bunch of people went up there for that.
If by a bunch of people you mean like 3 people.
That's 3 people.
Hunter, they don't come here anyway. They don't come to play FNM.
I would have went if I wasn't.
What's funny, this is one thing that drives me nuts about, Max is talking about another regional shop that's having some alternate format FNMs. Here's what drives me nuts, is like, people never talk to JB. And JB will do what people want to do, but you can't...
I also don't think the two-headed giant would work here.
Well, it wouldn't, because it's two-headed giant standard. If it's two-headed giant sealed or draft or something, that'd be fine. But nobody wants... That's the thing, like, I guarantee you the numbers down there aren't that great.
It's just a quirky thing you don't get to do very often.
It's tough because from a player standpoint, it's fun to play these fringe formats, but from a store perspective, it
doesn't gain you anything.
And you end up alienating people because they'll show up and be like, I'm going to play standard tonight because I play standard every other week, and then it's modern or it's some weird thing. It's a tricky pickle. That's what the kids call it.
Tricky pickle?
It's a tricky pickle.
That's the first for me.
Back to the match here. Poor Zach is trying to figure out some way of not losing the next turn.
Primal Surge costs 10?
Yeah, he only needs twice as much mana as he currently has.
I mean, can he live?
Well, he's gonna Zealous Conscript this Garuk.
Eat something. Eat something to kill the Garuk, preferably. I don't know if that's possible. He has a Sorin token. Do he make tokens or emblems?
Yeah, he just figured it out. He has to do the wolf because it's a 3/3 with virtue, and now he just dies, right? Yeah, this whole game has hinged around the fact that he had turn 3 Garuk. I never realized it until he cast it, but like Garuk is such a brutal card against his zero power creature.
It's a free shoot every turn for kill.
Yeah, and that's the problem with Zach's deck is that, or not the problem, but the limitation of it is he's only playing one non-permanent in the entire deck. Really? Angel of Jubilation just seems like me at this point, right? So that's enough. Yeah.
Count it anyway.
There's 12 in the air and 2 on the ground. He had Surge.
Sad day.
He had everything. He had Lotus. He could ramp in. Come in. He had a Fog Bank, which is really good. Fog Bank is super good, but it's just not very good in the...
Not when it dies to Garuk.
Yeah, everything dies to Garuk. There's interesting chat here talking about... I always get spoiled because, like, it takes you, what, like 10 minutes to get here, if that. It takes me like a half hour. I'd say the average person comes about like 15, 20 minutes. There are a couple people that come from like 45 minutes away, but we're pretty close. There's a guy that I talked to named Cameron, lives in Australia. He's on the Facebook page all the time. I talk to him. He's actually one of the guys that bought one of the play mats. He has to drive 2 hours if he wants to play FNM. Of course, this is what happens when you live in rural Australia, but like still.
Before there was a shop here in Charleston, the closest place to play was in Madison. We would all carpool from Charleston to take the 35-minute drive, 40-minute drive.
And for those here who are not super familiar with the geography of West Virginia, how far a drive from Charleston to Madison is it?
It's about 40 minutes.
Yes. So, and we kind of like complain. Well, not complain, but like we get a little bit sad about how. There's not a ton of people here tonight. There's only 24 people. But, like, there's tons of people who are like, we only have like 8 people for FNM, or there's only like 12 or 15. Yeah, so we are living pretty high on the hog. I can't complain too much. So now the choice becomes go find another match or start talking about Gate Crash or Return to Ravnica spoilers.
Spoilers?
Okay.
Or do you want to try to find another one?
Why don't we step out there? Do you want to go see if you can find somebody? Why don't you go out and see real quick? Mike's going to go try to find another feature match. While he's doing that, let's talk about how you can help the stream out. If you enjoy what you see and you would like to help us out in a non-monetary way, it's very simple. Just follow us on our various forms of social media. You can go to YouTube. Everything we have ever recorded for the last 5 months, including not just FNM, but a couple other events such as Star City Games Invitational Qualifier and West Virginia State Tournament, all on YouTube, youtube.com/ZachSellsMagic. You can follow me on Twitter @ZachSellsMagic if you're seeing a trend develop there as far as my usernames go. This is my personal Twitter, so there's a couple humorous goodies throughout the week, but generally it's Magic related. I also do updates as far as what rounds or what the feature match rounds are during every FNM, so you'll want to check that out. Facebook.com/ZachSellsMagic is where our stream's website at. As you go to ZachSellsMagic.com, it will redirect you there too. That's the biggest way to interact with us. You can find Max Turner and be his friend on Facebook. You can find me yourself. But like I said, I update that page several times a day with various Magic content. We have a lot of giveaways, promotions, fun stuff. So check us out there. And then finally, if you're watching live, you obviously know where the Twitch channel is. Twitch.tv/ZachSellsMagic. If you could.
Subscribe.
Yeah, it's a follow is what they call it.
Emails
there is a little button to the top and the left of the video screen. Click that button and you will receive an email notification whenever our stream goes live. So if we ever decide to film any of these other things that we do throughout the week, like Wednesday Night Legacy or Thursday Night Draft.
So you're just out on the town doing your own thing, and you get it like on your phone. Like, FNM's coming on.
Obviously, no one forgets that we're doing FNM because it's basically the most important thing during most people's weeks. Is this I'm having not been able to see their heads and seeing only their torsos and hands. I'm going to say this is Logan Cutlip on the left and Troy King on the right.
Yep.
Nailed it. So Logan is playing. What the heck's Logan playing?
It's a bit scary, Zach.
Looks at our hands and torsos.
Yes, I'm very well educated on people's torsos. That voice you hear is the aforementioned Zach Viglianco. Zach, it was a shame. In game one, just one turn.
I know.
And it was not even one turn, it was just one life point. Like,
I know.
I thought you could survive, but I forgot that Tristani was on the board.
Yeah.
And then that was... Yeah. So we'll talk to Zach after the round. Yeah.
Well done.
It's tough. I try to be very objective, but when someone's playing door to nothingness, it's inevitable that I'm cheering.
I was.
Well, turn 3 Garrick is the worst possible thing that could happen.
My hand was beautiful.
You showed it at the end. You had everything you needed to
I was about
combo.
to Primal Surge. I was going to, and then he just started punching my guys in the face, and 0 power guys don't punch back, so that's a bit of a problem.
Did you side in the O-rings?
I sided in a detention sphere, an O-ring, and then some other just magic.
Yeah, Sphere is good against him. Well, it's safe to say that your 60 cards is very finely tuned, and your 15-card sideboard is basically not, right? It's like
my 15-card sideboard is just the Laboratory Maniac of sideboards.
So, is Laboratory Maniac in your deck?
It used to be.
Yeah.
The win condition is better without him.
Right.
I liked him a lot, but you draw him sometimes, and he's a dead
fragile.
card. Yeah, it's a dead card.
Yeah,
All right.
I went off for 21 on turn 4.
I heard you just knocked Brett around. No?
But then he knocked me around with triple anthem. He's like, I'll play it.
All right. We'll see Max's deck on camera next round. Zach, we'll talk to your deck here at the end of this match.
What are they playing?
So Logan's playing green-white aggro. It's what he usually plays. I thought that's what he was playing.
This is game 3, by the way.
Oh, this is game 3. Excellent. Troy goes to college in Columbus, so he's just in for the holidays. The week that he came in for Thanksgiving, Troy ended up having 3 feature matches the same night, which is more than most of the shop has had in their entire Magic career. So
I'm extremely jealous.
You've had 2, I think, and both matches have gone fairly similarly, in which you
at least
you had a million mana, nothing to do with it.
Well, at least in this one, you got to see like almost work. It was like just this close. Of course, I jinxed it. I promised you that it was going to go off.
You know what?
And that was a mistake.
Do you have Curse of Deathhold in the sideboard?
No, but I should.
Yeah, I just thought of that too. I thought you did, but I couldn't remember.
You talked about it like I thought it was in.
I did. I couldn't remember.
That wouldn't be what I would do if I was a good Magic player. Who thought of things like
well,
that.
I mean, you've got stuff going on.
You know that I love curses. Like that's my favorite thing. So how I didn't put them in there doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
You're at the bottom of your box.
Yes, I have. Max is looking at my Ultra Pro deck box that has the red mana symbol on the bottom, and it says red land type mountain. Elements chaos and fury. Red planeswalkers want results in action instead of deliberation and debate. That's me in a nutshell right there.
That's absolutely.
There's nothing else. I like red cards. So let's talk about this Magic game here. So turn 1 Pilgrim into turn 2, that guy, the Double Strike guy. What the heck is his name? Silverblade Paladin.
Oh, that guy's really good.
Got Pillar of Flame.
Yeah, it's good too.
Follow up Sigarda, which is currently being negated by a Farseek into Vampire Nighthawk.
Good.
There's Thalia. I don't think Troy really cares about Thalia that much.
Yeah, I think he rips out of it being a problem.
The turn 2 Thalia is much scarier than a
He's already
turn
got his
4.
Farseek out of it.
Yes.
And a pillar, so
Yes.
he's beyond it.
Yeah. Sigarda is a beating. I don't understand why more decks don't play Sigarda. Do the Bant control decks play Sigarda?
I don't think they do.
But Nighthawk's pretty good again. I mean, that's the best card you want to see against Sigarda.
Yeah, that's a Hunt.
Huntmaster.
I think it's Huntmaster.
Could be Groove Relentless. No, Huntmaster.
Please not Groove Relentless.
That's the wrong wolf.
Wolf.
It's the wrong wolf token. Zach, were you watching the stream when there was a period of like a month where every time someone made a wolf token, I would flash a wolf token on the screen? I got bored of doing that.
It's one of the things that makes the Zach Sells Magic stream production just high class.
Well, we're nothing if not. I tried to lower the camera height tonight.
Bring it down a little bit.
A little bit.
It looks like you can see better.
Yeah. It has already been kicked at least once because it is off center, or it's tilted a little bit. We'll go fix.
I watched a lot of streams online at different places, and yours is very.
Well, there are a lot of streams, but most of the streams are just like moto streams, and obviously like.
That's so unentertaining.
It depends on who it is. Like, I don't want to watch just. I watch some of them, but I watch only the people. I don't care about the game. I just care about the personalities playing the game. So as long as the person who's playing is interesting, then the stream is interesting. But a lot of times watching them just play is...
There's something about... I just don't like watching computer screens.
Yeah, it's...
Like, I don't watch a computer screen on my computer screen.
Right. It's like this...
In screention.
Like, I'm just sitting on my computer watching it. It's going to be real life.
You just expect Leonardo DiCaprio to show up in like a third Moto window, like another Skype window.
Here's a tweak, they don't make them.
And then every time they click on a card, it just... You
know what happens if you alt tab with your stream?
Well,
watching it? It's like,
if you die in the stream, then you fall... If you fall asleep in the stream, you die in real life.
The top fell over, by the way.
What happened?
Yeah, at the end of Inception, the top fell over.
No.
You know. Just clarifying for the people who haven't seen the movie and need a spoiler.
This would kind of spoiler alert.
All right, so the...
Did Sigarda come over?
I mean, is he deciding what he wants to do? I guess he's trying to...
Is there a paladin there, or does that go away?
The Silverblade got Pillar of Flame, so Troy's going to take it. What trick is...
What is bar?
What trick is Logan offering up, or does he just have another Sigarda?
Well, even then it's fine. You still want to trade.
I'm just trying to think if there's a trick that he wouldn't want to block. That's what I'm saying. But I mean, the only tricks I can think of are like, he can give it trample, but it still dies. Like,
yeah, and you only take 4 or something.
I'm not sure why you
would
would
take 2 after the
I think Troy was just being excessively cautious there.
It is game 3, though.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he wants to race.
So you want to know? Do you guys want to know an interesting thing that only I know because I've been doing this so long that I'm familiar with all these people that watch us? I'd say probably 50% of the chat is currently in Scandinavia, or at least mainland Europe.
I think you're big in Scandinavia. That's awesome.
Actually, you'd be surprised. Like the majority of people on Facebook that actually like interact with the page are either from here or Scandinavia.
Before long, there's going to be
It's late.
The Zach Sells Magic billboards in Scandinavia with your gorgeous beard, just endorsing products all over.
I'm going to tell you this: for dedicated stream followers, it has been 2 weeks since you've seen my beard, and it's getting there.
I mean, there's Vikings in Scandinavia. They like beards. I see the affinity.
It's a good culture.
What do we call it, Rope?
It's a good culture. I would go to Norway in a heartbeat if it wasn't very expensive to both get there and to do anything once there. Have you seen the movie Troll Hunter? We've talked about this on the stream before.
No, I have not.
Troll Hunter it's a fun movie. It's like a not a mockumentary, but it's like a found footage kind of movie. It's about they hunt trolls in Norway because that's part of like we have Sasquatch, they have trolls.
Yeah.
And but like what it ends up being is just like inadvertently like the best possible PR for Norwegian tourism.
Like how beautiful it is.
Yeah, because it's gorgeous. It's the same way Lord of the Rings was for New Zealand.
Yeah.
You're just like, I'm going to make this movie about like this sci-fi thing, but then you just have to see our countryside, which is gorgeous. So that's my inadvertent. Well, they're playing Magic. I'm not going to update anything.
We discussed about, is anybody going to be at Columbus to meet us?
Well, I've got a little graphic made up. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, for those of you who are regional here in the U.S., there is a fair contingent of us going to Star City Games Columbus next weekend, so you can meet all of your favorite stream personalities. I think I'm going to...
Are you allowed to have a favorite stream personality other than Adam Vickers, though?
Well, no. Well, everyone's tied for second. Everyone's competing for second. We'll also show the Adam Vickers token card.
Did this show up today?
Well, there's not more than one, but I do have the one.
I cannot see it.
You can.
Oh my word.
So what's
pretty incredible.
So what's going on here? I apologize to everyone for not paying attention, but I am...
Slaughter Games happened.
What did he Slaughter Games?
That was a good... I was trying to catch it, but I wasn't really...
Why don't you open the door and just ask him?
What got Slaughter Games?
Silverblade Paladin.
Huh, so Sigarda doesn't get double strike?
Well, I mean...
Wouldn't he just
I think
eat
he did. You know what I honestly think it is? He probably sided in one Slaughter Games for Sigarda, and now that Sigarda's out, he doesn't want to possibly whiff.
True. Is he running more like Thragtusk or something?
I would have picked Sublime Archangel probably.
Who isn't running Thragtusk?
I don't think he is.
Archangel?
He is right there.
I can't see over there.
I'm sorry.
That's not your just...
Yeah. We do have a 2-screen setup in here, but that screen is on delay, because that's what the fine people of the internets are seeing. So, Sublime Archangel is in play. Restoration Angel is in play. That's what's going to get taken out with the Nighthawk. But, more importantly than all of this is the fact that...
he still has nothing to do with Sigarda, though. Like, I don't understand.
Well, he's at 10.
I guess.
I mean, what's it... Logan's at 10 life.
Does Troy play like a wolf run?
I'm sure he plays at least one.
I mean, that'd be sweet with that Photon Master.
I have it listed as Jun Souls because he played Lingering Souls in the past. Spear on Sublime seems very good at this juncture.
Oh, yeah.
You don't really have any profitable attacks here.
Start off
Is this a Hellrider? This Hellrider's very good. Oh, okay, that's good too. Yeah, and his Huntmaster's going to flip back.
He's going to go back to 20, so it's perfectly fine.
And get another attacker, which is what he needs right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's going to ping the Wolf token. Logan draws a land. That's the point of the game where you hold a land in your hand just to bluff Charm, right?
Or Restoration Angel, maybe.
Yeah, I think this one is all over but the shouting. I think you have to pile in here. Well, no, I guess you can't. You're just dead otherwise,
You
right?
just Skype Adam Vickers to shout.
Well, Vickers was here earlier. He came in just to stop by and say hello, and then he was off to buy a bearded dragon from a pet store.
Yep.
Ironic bit of trivia, my wife owns bearded dragons. She owns a bearded dragon.
Are they going to be friends?
She started with 3.
You can tell them the story, yeah.
It was kind of a Thunderdome situation where over the course of many years.
What point of life isn't a Thunderdome situation?
All right, so he's going to take the.
Just ping it out, make your Libby huge.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's just going to.
Oh, that's perfectly fine too.
Rakdos return him. That's good enough too. So Troy King wins 2-1. Beating Logan Cutlip. So Jund over green-white aggro.
Seems correct.
I mean, I don't really think. I really don't think there's any better.
Yeah, that's a sweet ass Adam Vickers token.
Yeah. So Max is talking about the Adam Vickers token. We'll switch back to the studio camera.
Is that getting given away?
No, it's given away to me. There's only one of these.
It's like 1990. It's like 1996 world champion right there.
It's the prototype. Oh, Max, you're not.
You know the world will fight over that token.
Nope.
We are all bearded again.
There you are.
Hello from
Welcome.
Scandinavia, West Virginia.
Welcome to the Broom Closet. My name is Zachary Evans. We got dual Zach technology tonight. That's Zach Viglianco. That's
should be sandwiched.
Max Turner. Max earlier talking about, for those of you, should I even have to explain who I'm about to reference?
No, just put it up there.
Yeah, so this
if you watch the stream, you know who this is.
Yeah, if you've already been on our Facebook page, I spoiled this earlier in the week, but that, of course, is the Adam Vickers token. It's a creature-type local legend. There's one in existence. It belongs to me. Thank you to Michael Taylor and also Sarah Taylor, his wife. They've been making. They figured out how to make some cool tokens, and that one is pretty cool. It's a real card.
I'm trying to grow a beard, and I have more than a neck beard. Cliff Markham.
Don't talk to Cliff. Is Cliff on there trolling us?
Should know acknowledgement.
So
there's a mustache.
All right, so do you guys, let's talk a little bit, Zach, let's talk a little bit about your...
do you want me to...
Yeah, let's talk about your deck.
Spots so you can talk at them.
Well,
we're going to redo all your words.
Sounds like...
I just want to be the Zach sandwich.
I think they just...
Really round to that?
No, I think he just said so many minutes left in the round, so my clock may be a little faster. Probably got 5 or 7 minutes, so... I've told you multiple times, I have your deck list, don't I?
I don't know.
Okay.
Probably you have an older version. This is 2.0.
So here's basically, correct me if I'm wrong, I told everyone at the beginning of the round, but for those of us just joining, so here's how your deck works. You have one non-creature permanent.
That is correct.
Or non-permanent spell, period, and that is Primal Surge.
Yes.
And so basically, this is how the deck works. You cast Defender creatures, Fogbank, Gate Creeper Vine, Ludwig's Test Subject, a fan favorite. Do you have a Gatekeeper in there?
Doorkeeper. Doorkeeper is the old version.
Okay, so screw that guy anyway. I didn't like him. Was there any other defenders?
No, that's all.
And then the reason you play those are because, first of all, Fog
Axebane Guardian.
Axebane, they power up Axebane Guardian, which lets you tap for as much mana as you have defenders. But the key there is that it can be any combination of colors. Yeah. So basically, it's the best fixer possible. So you go, ideally, you're going like turn 2 Fogbank, turn 3 Gate Creeper Vine, turn 4, whatever, doesn't really matter. But you're basically, you want to amass a certain amount of defender creatures, and then cast your Gilded Lotus, ramp up to your 6, 8, 10 cost bombs.
Yeah, I mean, I had in game 2 right there, basically, it was going to Primal Surge within a turn if I hit a land, because I had 3 mana, I had 2 defenders and an Axebane Guardian, and I was going to cast Gilded Lotus. That puts me at 8 right there. Mm-hmm. I hit any of a defender and a land, and bam, we're Primal Surge.
Yeah, plus, like, Fogbank is just a good card.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if the green-white aggro deck can't get rid of it. So, and it just eats up damage all.
But the great part about it is, I mean, Primal Surge is the 1-card combo because you get to flip over your whole deck. I like to do it 1 card at a time.
So when
you were playing with it, you just did the.
I just like to flip over the whole deck. It's more fun just to do that. But yeah, we'll talk about that. So you got the Axebane Guardian. That's your main engine.
Yes.
That gets the mana and fixes the mana.
Chromatic Lantern helps.
Chromatic Lantern, and you're playing for fixing and ramp. You're playing Farce, and you're not playing Farseeks.
Can't play Farce.
You're playing Gilded Lotus.
Yes.
So that's your ramp package because you are playing 6. All your ways of winning the game cost 6 or more mana. Most of them cost 8 or more mana.
Well, technically, Door to Nothing is a 5-cost permanent,
right,
but,
yeah.
10.
So, how are you winning the game? You are winning the game, not talking about Primal Surge, but you can hard cast and activate Door to Nothingness.
Yes.
You can cast Gristlebrand, which is does things on its own.
Niv Mizzet
you have
a big engine.
Niv Mizzet as well, which really gets out of control. Just pinging them, drawing cards. Mm-hmm. And in your deck, if you can draw 7, 8, 9, 10 cards, like you usually get there. Is there any other Deadeye Navigator?
Deadeye Navigator plus...
Yes, you're also playing Deadeye Navigator, Zealous Conscripts, Gilded Lotus combo.
Yes.
Which if you constantly bounce the Conscripts, untap your Gilded Lotus, net 1 mana...
have a million mana, and then you can just
steal
all
their
permanents. It's a hard lock because they can't do anything.
Because you can do this all at instant speed.
Yes.
So during your upkeep, you can steal all their stuff.
All their lands, all everything. So that's awesome.
So that's fun to do.
I mean, plus Zealous Conscripts is just a good card anyway.
Yeah, we saw you in game 1. Part of the reason why you almost won that game is because you Zealous Conscripts his Vraska. -3 his Vraska kills it, destroys his Garrett Primal Hunter. Seems like a very good turn.
I was pretty pumped about it. It almost got me there. The other thing, Deadeye Navigator makes Gatekeeper Vine into a pseudo rampant growth.
Yeah.
And I have Acidic Slime on the sideboard, so you can do that sort of stuff.
Yeah. So, but that's all. This is all of that we just described was like plans B through H.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, Ludwig's Test Subject is a great plan B because he's coming down on turn 2, and that's moving me towards my plan.
If he doesn't have Celestia Charm in that matchup, or if he is if he's Troy's Jund deck and is relying on damage-based spells to remove it, he's never getting rid of 13/13, and it tramples, doesn't it?
It does.
Okay, so
he's a defender.
He's a defender. What's his ass?
He is an 0-3.
0-3. So he ties to Garrick. So it is what it is. But so let's talk about the card that matters most, Primal Surge. So here's what happens when Zach casts Primal Surge. You flip the entire deck. And as the game usually doesn't go past about turn 15, 20, you're usually flipping 35 cards or thereabouts. And basically what happens is you flip a Door to Nothingness, you flip a Zealous Conscripts, or you flip all of your lands, you flip Gilded Lotus. You basically have infinite mana. You have Axebane Guardians. You have all the mana you want. You have Zealous Conscripts to untap the door so you can activate it immediately. But even if, because Primal Surge does... each one resolves.
Yes.
So if for example, all of your Zealous Conscripts come in before the door, that won't work. But you have Deadeye Navigator, so you can blink your conscripts, and you can do it all in instant speed.
Well, and there's 3 Niv Mizzets, so one is going to live through the Legend rule. So even if they have some way to deal with the doors, I'm going to have 1 Niv Mizzet and the ability to just burn them out.
I don't think there's any way of dealing with the doors, because you can interact with it all in instant speed.
I mean, if someone had Slaughter Games the doors away or gotten rid of them, I still have other ways to win.
I guess Slaughter Games is pretty good against you, but then again, it's...
When you're calling Slaughter Games Door to Nothingness, you're already losing. I mean, you have already been beaten in the game of life. You are beaten.
There's no card you can take out of your deck that can play Slaughter Games that is worse than Slaughter Games in that situation. Like just any creature, like Absence Pilgrim is better than Slaughter Games at that point. You know what I mean? Any Farseek is better, all that kind of stuff. So that's basically what it was. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see it. It's like you say, a 1-card combo. Yeah. Have you ever thought about playing Omniscience in the deck? Is that any good?
I mean,
that's like a win more.
At a certain point,
but you're all about fun. So.
Yeah, I mean, I know that there's the Omnidor Thrag Fire sort of stuff going on out there. So Omniscience it's the kind of card that I love. It's the kind of card I would definitely build around. But at this point, if I'm going to Primal Surge, why do I need Omniscience? I'm going to win on the turn that I Primal Surge.
Well, I wasn't talking about as part of the combo piece. Just talking about but I guess it really doesn't matter because usually when you cast your bomb,
I have a million mana anyway. I've got I'm playing with more than 10 mana all the time for about turn 5. So I don't.
And of course, as we've talked about, I've talked both on the stream here tonight and infinitely off camera. Your deck has very little prayer about beating the Rakdos aggro deck.
Yeah, that's
you have to get very lucky.
It's definitely a challenge. I mean, it can be effective. Fogbank can be pretty good, but the burn is sometimes a problem.
Yeah.
Wish me luck.
All right. Centaur Healer is in the deck designed to...
You got to buy time. You got to have the very right draw to get there, though.
It's tough. But
well, Zach, best of luck to you in round 2.
Well, thanks, Zach.
JD, do we have 4 rounds tonight?
I think we're going to do 5.
5? Okay, so 5 rounds. So we're going to get Max. Max, you want to go and get... You're playing Evan Hudnall. You know Evan? All right, we're going to go get the next match set up. I'm going to switch back to the feature camera. It's dropped. It always seems to pause for some reason. If it does that same thing, just wait a minute, refresh your Twitch if it doesn't come back. But we'll be right back with Max Turner playing Burn at the Stake. So stick around. We'll be right back.